Hello and good evening. My name is Jason Netherton and I am a fellow Georgia Tech student with you here in the OMSCS program, and this is my presentation video on my project for Dr. David Joyner's class this summer of 2018. I started off the project, or the class actually, really looking at a lot of material around engagement, MOOCs, online courses, and online students in programs such as ours. I was just initially attracted to this information because I had been tossing around the idea of a project where I would start creating and producing videos to teach the layman, the novice, if you will, in computing a little bit more about higher tech, such as cloud, DevOps, security, and higher tech like that. So I started off this course really just kind of researching papers in the past from other fellow students, and I was initially attracted to the engagement factors, what makes an MOOC or an online program better, and also came across Carmine Guida's paper on setting up a studio. So I think I was initially attracted to these because I've been tossing around the idea late in 2017 about producing my own courseware and my own videos, and where that information was going to be around a little bit more higher tech type information like cloud, DevOps, and security. I knew it wouldn't be your normal boot camp. So I looked at it as more of a 2-year program that I wanted to produce. So after kind of going through the research, I thought maybe I was going to initially start a research paper, but I decided to actually just take the plunge and really start developing content and developing a program around this. Now, I knew this was going to be a long program to create because it would probably be about 2 years worth of material for the student to learn, to dive into, to complete challenges, to complete even certifications in, say, AWS or Azure Cloud, go through security challenges such as over the wire. I figured this program would take about 2,000 hours or so for me to actually complete, and I decided that I would go ahead and kick it off here, and that really, since we were only designated about 100 hours or so, that really I could only get through some initial parts. So what I really did was I came through this semester wanting to take my first 100 or so hours researching engagement, how well I could keep the student engaged. I wanted to set up a studio. I have no equipment in the beginning here. I wanted to look at some of the branding factors for my video courseware, and also for a website that I wanted to create that would be in conjunction with that. Also, I knew there would be difficulties kind of in the beginning, as I hadn't really formulated out the ideas that I've had since the beginning of 2017, or the end rather. And I wanted to start producing some videos and to start delivering some content. So I decided that I would take the plunge and actually deliver some content and really start creating this, the video courseware, and also a lot of the syllabi, and kind of set up a studio and such. So I'm going to walk you through the studio setup. I'm going to walk you through a little bit of the website that I have created. I'm going to walk you through some of the factors, some of the areas that I'm going to wind up teaching, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about what engages the student in an online course. So firstly, I'd like to talk about what keeps the student engaged in an online course. A few concepts really came out of my research. Gamification was one where individuals like to learn realistic and practical skills that they can translate to the business world or to the tech job that they have. Also, an effective, engaging instructor, somebody who tends to enunciate a little bit more, somebody who tends to smile, somebody who is kind of warm with the camera and that can really help others stay engaged through enthusiasm and through online measures such as dashboards, progress reports, also through social functions, and also to answer their questions rather quickly. Now I want to walk you through my studio setup. I purchased this green screen here so that I could actually sit in the lower right-hand corner and present slides and animations to the student throughout the courseware. And in this process, I actually purchased some halogen lights, a microphone for the HD camera I'm using. It's a GoPro 5. I actually found that lighting is one of the most difficult concepts to master when producing videos, because it is so hard to get rid of the shadows. If you look here, some of these shadows are here. My hand just from the halogen in front of us. And over here it tends to get lighter where this gets darker. So it wreaks havoc on what you're trying to do in the way of green screen movie making. Next, I want to walk you through the website that I created so far. I do have some back-end development to do to authenticate the user to use a NoSQL instance like DynamoDB on AWS to actually display awards and such for the dashboard, which I'll walk you through in a minute. And hopefully this is more of a screenshot type deal or a kind of a live broadcast from my video screen as opposed to just on the GoPro here. But it depends on just how much time I have before our deadline this evening or late tomorrow or early tomorrow morning. So this is the website here, and this is kind of the splash page with the logo up top. And it really just talks about how this program works and what you need to do to get started in this program. And then we also have a registration area for this and a few quotes and where the launch is happening. If you come over here, this is our board to show some of the links here, and you can access Trello, which will have a few more cards that will be coming our way to show you what you need to do for the program, and also the dashboard concept that I had created here. Now this dashboard really is conceptual only, and it's going to become a lot more dynamic so that you can see where you are in your skills, see what programs you've completed, what challenges you've completed, and what awards you've received. Now I've taken a very militarized approach towards the dashboard in that you earn military ribbons, ranks, warfare pins here, and also an area that talks about what skills you still need to complete, a chart of progress, and some news feeds. The next thing I want to walk you through is Adobe's Premiere Pro movie making software. And really, I just wanted to show you here real quick how you can actually take a green screen and put another video behind it. This video just happens to be a parachute jump, and that was overlaid in the green screen back behind. And if you noticed in the lower right hand corner of the video itself, there is a green blurb, and that's the havoc I was talking about that the lighting wreaks. upon you. What happens is that it is so bright green right there where the rest of the screen is just a little bit darker that the software cannot render it as a kind of the same color. So the overlay video, or the underlay if you will, actually does not come through that area. So that's a facet of this program that I'll actually have to work. Now, some of the difficulties that I faced in this project, or a few of the difficulties really, there was a lot of uptime to learn a lot of these aspects. The software that I'm using to produce videos, I've never done it before, and so it took a few hours, few days really, to really just grasp the software, how it works, how to create a project, how to manipulate the file, how to splice, how to edit, those type of things. Another difficulty I ran into and really spent an inordinate amount of time was on the splash page for the web page itself. You know, it's been a while since I've created a web page, and you know, pages look so much better these days. You know, kind of with the Web 2.0 or 3.0 era we're getting into. And a lot of the old HTML that I learned, you know, 20 years ago or so at the advent of the internet, just don't apply as much these days. And so to kind of produce the richer environment, you know, I really had to get back into, you know, learning to code a web page and front-end development. A lot of that was, you know, CSS and all that good stuff. The back-end development, the DynamoDB portion, the authentication portion, incognito, really haven't messed with that too much. The authentication a little bit, but when it came to a NoSQL instance actually in the cloud and using that for your website, the branding portion was a little bit different for me as well. You know, I initially thought at the end of last year that maybe I could produce some videos and teach some people, maybe put it on Udemy or something, kind of create a bigger program. But the more I got into this semester, the more I really started thinking about it. I realized that I actually had to come up with more of a branding concept, not just consistency, not just a few facets that would make it entertaining or engaging. And so really I took a more militarized approach, kind of looked at it as more of a Navy SEAL program because, you know, I'm a U.S. Navy veteran, and I realized that a boot camp, which are so fashionable these days, really wasn't going to cut it for this program, that it's more of a 2-year program. So I appreciate you taking the time to sit here and listen to my project for the semester, and I hope that you have good luck with the rest of your semester here. Thank you.